This is where the fun begins.
Hello there. How's it going?
Hey everyone, Highway Toy Reviews here, and today I want to show you my Wisconsin trip haul. So this past weekend I went up to Wisconsin with my friends Jackson and Tommy of the 1313 podcast to see 212 Hunter and Skywalker Hendrix. We ended up hitting up all sorts of cool shops. We went to the Mall of America because they had the first Toys R Us that was going to be back in the U.S. Totally sucked. Toys R Us, not back. We hit some comic shops in the area. That was cool. We went to a Lego store. I never really get to go to Lego stores, so that was just really cool just because even though there are some within 2 hours of where I live, I just don't go to them. So I was pretty amped to go to those. That was pretty cool. And yeah, so this wasn't necessarily all bought while I was at the comic shops. Some of this was stuff that I've had Hunter picking up for me. Certain things were popping up at Ross. I'd go look for him. He'd go look for me. So I had a little bit of we were calling it the Wisconsin pile of loot. And so I might run through some of that first. So to get a big thing out of the way, the Marvel Legends Thor Love and Thunder Roleplay Mjolnir is one of those things. These were showing up at Ross for, I believe it was $35. It's normally a $120 hammer. Such a cool replica from a movie that I loved. I'm not a hater. I like everything that Marvel does. So I was really amped to be able to get a replica Mjolnir for the collection. I've got a Stormbreaker on the wall over there, and this is going to go right next to it. It is just such a cool pairing. It has lights. I took the batteries out. I kind of don't want them corroding, and I'm never going to play with them because honestly, as much as it is sturdy enough to be a toy, I'm not going to play with it. I don't want them corroding. It's kind of just sit over there. But I'm really happy with it, and the quality is really nice, really stout, really sturdy. Comes with a nice stand, and it is just a really cool piece. What are some of the other things he's picking up for me? Hasbro Pulse at one point had a really good sale on the Black Series X Woes. They got them down to about $15. We're going to be meeting Simon Castanets. I think that's his pronunciation for last name. We're going to be meeting him at Motor City Con in Detroit in May. So he picked up 2 of them for us. That was super cool. He also found Darth Maul for me at Ross. Clone Wars Maul for $5.99. That wave started showing up. He went, the only one they had was Maul. I'm going to meet Sam Witwer someday, so this is just going to go in my to-be-signed someday pile. So, scoot me over and set those off to the side. We got to clear this table down a little bit. Something I found on the way, we stopped at a Meijer, and they had Black Series on sale for $18, and on the shelf is the Pike Soldier. It's one of the only Book of Boba Fett figures. Turns out the sale is only for Ahsoka figures, but they honored it for me at the register. So I got a Pike for $18. Review coming soon. Something else that I had Hunter get for me was the Power of the Force retro card, Princess Leia in her Yavin ceremony dress. This was a Pulse exclusive, I think for some online convention event, whatever. But it is on that Darth Vader helmet 90s Power of the Force packaging. And I love this packaging. I'm sentimental about it. When I was a kid, you could find these figures at flea markets on card for $1 or $2 in piles. And so I had a lot of 5POA 90s figures as a kid. And so this is just a really nice addition to the collection. For $5, how could you not want it hanging on your wall, right? Setting that aside, Hunter had a stockpile of Black Series figures he didn't sell from ErieCon last year. At some point in all of my rearranging, I have hardcore misplaced my Umbra ARC Trooper. I moved it, and I don't know where it went, and the shelves have been set up and torn down a few times, and he has not turned up. So I was able to get one from him. Super amped to have that back in the collection. It's a really cool figure. I believe I reviewed it back in the day, too. So let me get this stand for Mjolnir out of the way. But, so far, I mean, we got some really cool stuff. Another thing I had him get me, you're not going to be able to tell these really easily. These are the Hasbro Pulse figure flight stands, the 3-pack of flight stands that you can get for $15 on the website. No packaging, they just come in a bag. So, I guess this is an item they were never intending to put on shelves anyway. They're just an online through Hasbro Pulse exclusive item. And honestly, I'm just glad to have some more flight stands in the collection. All of my figures are kind of standing, and I feel this will make it a little bit more dynamic with my display options. What else did I get Hunter also provided me with a Master Chief Collection, Master Chief from Halo Infinite. He and I have been playing a lot of Halo lately. Never played it before. I've been picking up some of the Master Chiefs, and he had a spare. So thank you again, Hunter. So far this haul has just been the pile of loot mostly, right? So, pretty amped on that. Other things, I think this is going to start winding down the Hunter pile, but he does a lot of the Hot Wheels Starship diecasts, and he found the wave with the Ghost super early, and the Ghost is one of my favorite Star Wars ships, and there's 2 in the wave. I haven't snagged me the other one. He also ended up with a duplicate of the battle-damaged Imperial Star Destroyer Chase, and I love Star Destroyers, so in this line, I only have the Republic gunship. I'm more of a Micro Galaxy guy. I'm even not hardcore on those. I just like them more. But these, I will definitely cherry pick some of my favorites when it comes to any line that does any sort of ships. So I'm going to set those off to the side. I know you're probably wincing as I'm tossing stuff. I promise there's an empty sofa right there. They're landing nice. Alright, what else is from Hunter? I'm going to knock that out first. Oh, Lola! This was just a gift. This wasn't me having him hunt for anything, but this is the super, fancy animatronic Lola that, responds to voice and touch and has lights. And the one that was, $100 that is on clearance at Walmart's everywhere now. So he snagged one for himself and was impressed, and he wanted to get one for me because I absolutely love the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I got to play with his a little bit at his place, and I'm really excited to get her out of the box. I'm on the fence about reviewing it. If you have any interest, fire off in the comments below. I think it could be really cool. It says 45 plus light, sound, and movement combinations. It has moving panels. You can have her standing. You can have her flying. The mouth opens and closes, and the wings move. And she just has a ton of stuff. She's interactive. I mean, she'll be sitting there like an idol, and you'll be like, yo, Lola, and she'll, wake up and talk to you and stuff. So I'm really, really amped on this. Lola and young Leia were adorable in the Kenobi series, and so I'm just amped to have a little Lola just somewhere on the shelves in here. So, somewhere on the shelves, the ample, endless shelves. We're going to set Lola down. Something else that he helped me get, because I was a little on the fence, because I was not pleased with how the pack was announced, was the Mace Windu and 187th Clone Trooper multi-pack. And so he ended up just pre-ordering the 3 of them, said he'd cancel them if I didn't have any interest. I ended up having a lot of interest, especially once they went out of stock and were impossible to get again. And my argument on these is I want the Mace and I want the clone, but I want to army build the clone. I don't want to buy a bunch of Maces. So we ended up with 3 of them. He ended up wanting a Mace. So I have 3 clones and 2 Mace Windus. So when the time comes for the review, keep an eye out, because I'm going to be giving away one of the Mace Windus. I haven't quite decided if it'll be there or if I'm going to wait a little bit on it, but there's going to be another giveaway coming to the channel very soon. And then I think this is the final. No, there's 2 other little things. There's a hologram Count Dooku and a hologram Stormtrooper. These were pack-ins with the Saga Legends 375s back in 06. And I love little hologram figures. I love using them in dios, they're in the hands of a Black Series or on the table or whatever. So always glad to add some of these little guys to the collection. I don't really use them for photos very often, so I actually really just have them sprinkled all throughout my house, but still, they make me happy, so thank you. And then the final thing from Hunter is he had a trading card collecting phase he was talking about, and so he ended up with a Signature Series 1 enclosed autograph per box Star Wars trading card thing, and I've seen videos where people have pulled, Ashley Eckstein on Ahsoka trading cards, and so he ended up pulling Cass Anvar as Patine. I'm going to come up to the camera on this and show you. This is a genuine signed, by Topps trading card, but this guy was in the Mace Windu and Jar Jar arc in Season 3. He was the village elder from the village where Jar Jar was really into the priestess who got captured, the force sensitive, monks out in the middle of nowhere. So definitely not one I would track down at a Comic-Con, but I've got some oddball autographs in the collection, and this one will end up in there. So it's really cool, And I'm sure that boxes like this are always going to be like that. You can't just have, 10,000 boxes and every one of them is Ashley Eckstein as Ahsoka. You have to have, some limited, get Ashley to sign 5, get Sam Witwer to sign 5, get a Cass to sign, 40 and, sprinkle those throughout the mix. Got to have some, desire to go and buy another one when the first one you didn't really care for. So from there, we're getting on to what I had to track down myself, which is not a huge amount. One of the shops we went to was Mint in Box Toys, really cool toy shop up in Minnesota. And I ended up getting a couple of oddball things there. I got a Phantom Menace Retro Card Battle Droid, pretty much just to open an ad to the Army. I have made it a point this year to, every time I go to a Comic-Con, buy a tan B1 just to Army build because I want more. And I saw this guy on the shelf for 25 bucks. Couldn't not add to the Army for that price. Also, while there, in their loose figure pile, for $15, I got a First Order TIE Fighter pilot. But not just any First Order TIE Fighter pilot. It's the one with the red marks down his eyes, meaning it is the pack-in for the Black Series TIE Fighter that I have way over there, probably off-screen. And so I finally have 2 First Order pilots, because I had 2 chairs, and like, why only put 1 pilot in there? Come on, these are Micro Galaxy moves before they were even an option. So if you give me a ship with 2 seats, fill the seats, give me 2 figures. So there's my spicy hot take of the day. That was it for Mint in Box Toys. And then there was another shop. It was like Hot Comics, Cool Comics. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. But that was where, if you saw 1313's vlog, or if you saw Skywalker Hendricks' vlog, that was where they were like the only Hot Toys distributor for like a 250-mile circle. And, you know, I have Hot Toys once and Black Series budget, so I ended up getting a Black Series. I got this Rey Jedi Training Deluxe from The Last Jedi, my personal favorite Star Wars movie. Roast me in the comments, I know. For $7.99. This was a Toys R Us exclusive back in the day, and it features a big base. It features a die-cast lightsaber hilt, a die-cast blaster. And honestly, it's pretty photoreal, but I feel the paint on the face is better. And also, her whole outfit is soft goods here. Not 100% sure on that. This might garner a throwback review. But it was a really cool thing. Apparently, it was also supposed to be $30. There's a price tag on the bottom I totally missed. On the back, I saw the $7.99. And I was like, oh, that's that. And like, they were like, yeah, we'll give it to you for the $7.99. Because like, y'all came in as a group and like spent more than anyone else ever has. Because like, everyone, like, there was probably like $3 grand dropped in that store that day. It was an insane haul. So definitely not within my budget, but I'm glad to have gotten a little something. I always love to support some local business. From there, we're getting into some of the bigger box retail stuff. We stopped at a Walmart and we found Series 5 of the Micro Galaxy Squadron blind boxes. I don't typically condone this kind of thing, but less than condoning this, I especially don't condone the practice of blind boxes. For, you know, blind boxes is for those quarter machines in the front of the grocery store to get a random colored bouncy ball. When you get into this like $5 range, I want to know exactly what I'm buying. So we may have taken a sneak peek discreetly in a few of them, but I was looking for the ATDP driver with the speeder bike. I'm gonna come on over and show you that up close. So as you see, it's just a very little guy. But that is the costume that I will be working on once I get some budget together to start working on a 501st costume. That is a goal. Honestly, as many cons as I'm planning, it's not going to be till later this year, if not even the beginning of next year. But ATDP driver is a costume I intend to do and get into the 501st with. So that's a little long-term goal. We went to the Lego store in the Mall of America. That was really cool. They ended up having a promo, which I knocked on the ground, for this little creator buildable Easter Bunny, and to get that you had to spend $40. I misheard and thought it was $50, so I ended up grabbing $50-some worth of stuff. I got the Brickhead's WALL-E and Eva. I love WALL-E, one of my most favorite Disney movies. I'm not a big Disney movie guy in general, but WALL-E is just superb. I love WALL-E. So these guys are going to be on the shelf somewhere. Had to have them for the collection. They had on sale for $17 the Millennium Falcon Holiday Diorama. This is like Rey and Finn in their holiday sweaters in the Christmas light-filled like bunk section of the Millennium Falcon. Super cool little playset. Something I was debating getting back in, you know, when it came out, you know, like 4 or 5 months ago now, but could not pass on it for $17. I also ended up getting a Fennec Shand minifigure keychain. These keychains are always super cool, but I've seen where people keep them on their key rings and their keys like rub all the deco off the figures, and I feel that would break my heart. So I think she's just gonna hang out around the living room. I think she's gonna get a cushy life as far as keychain lives go. These are up by the registers. I always get got by register items. This is a salt and pepper shaker set that look like 1x1 Lego bricks, but jumbo. I'll even tear them open right here. Why not? So, yeah, little Lego, jumbo Lego salt and pepper shakers. And they actually, like, stack. Like, this is so cool. I love it. So, super happy just to go put these in the kitchen. I don't actually own a salt and pepper shaker, so these are nice little additions. I'm definitely glad to have those. And then I got just as little gifty things to give to friends and family. Well, I guess pretty much all family. They had these ink pens that have Lego studs on them. And so I thought these were really cool. I'm going to keep one for myself, and I got one for my sister for taking care of my cats while I was out of state, and one for my mom, because she's a pretty good mom, and so I wanted to give her a little green pen. She works at O'Reilly's, so I figured like green would be her thing. That's it for the Lego store. We're super winding down now. The Mall of America has a giant Nickelodeon section in the center, and it has like rides and Nick-themed shops. And so I ended up getting this little figure of Robot Fry Cook SpongeBob. No articulation, just a little statue. But one of my favorite episodes, you know, everyone needs to lose their brain privileges here and there. So, super amped. This guy's just going to stick around the house somewhere. And another little thing for my sister is this Appa coin purse. For Christmas, like a year back, she was talking about how she wanted a wallet. Like, not a girly wallet. She wanted a boy wallet. They're so much more functional. They're smaller. You can put them in your pocket. And at GameStop, I got her an Avatar The Last Airbender wallet. And she loves it. That was a show that she and I have watched a few times through and through, growing up and as adults. And so I figured I'd get her the little Appa coin purse to go with it, because she always has a little pouch for coins in the car, and I think she'll like it. I also filled it with my coins from while on the trip. I'm not sure she's going to get those or not, but I had to test it for her. So, obviously a lot of stuff has been put off, but that is the haul. As far as the Wisconsin experience, honestly gotta say, had a great time. I just honestly always love getting to hang out with my friends. It's always a great experience, and I'm glad that we decided to do this. This started as a really little trip. This was going to be like just like Tommy and I going to see Hunter, you know, just as a birthday thing, stay for a night or two. And then like Jackson got added, and then Skywalker Hendrix got added, and then Mall of America got added, and it grew and grew and grew into like this 4-day thing where we left on Thursday and got home Sunday. And honestly, I experienced Wisconsin a little bit last summer after Fan Expo Chicago, which was a fun time, but I was in the state for like 16 hours, and like 6 of those were sleeping. So I got a taste of the experience, but I'm really happy that I got to truly experience it this time. It was an absolute blast, and I always, as I said, I always enjoy hanging out with my friends, and that will definitely tide me over until some of these later conventions, because as I said, looks like Hunter and I are going to go to Motor City Con in May, like early May. So we'll get to see him in a few months. I always get to see 1313. Skywalker Hendrix is a harder guy to peg down, but we'll see him at ICCC later this year, and that is going to be a blast. So there will always be haul videos whenever these things happen. We're all collectors. We all love getting stuff. Thank you for everyone for watching. Thank you to my friends for having an awesome weekend with me. And thank you again just for being here. Thanks again. I'll catch you next time. Until then, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.